king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain.
What's good YouTube and welcome Tano. In today's video I will show you how to build your Voruna for level 0 to 9999 in Warframe, making sure the build scales so you don't waste your resources. Utilizing her new augment Prey of Dynar that came with the update Hunkpain and the 5 fates, making her very powerful and an unstoppable Warframe. Now, let's go beast mode and show you what she's capable of. Let's go. Welcome back Tano, I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'm looking forward to reading your feedback in the comment section below. As always, we take beginners friendly approach for Thanos who want to learn about Voruna or first time they see her. Let's go. Passive. Voruna never fights alone in mission. Hold abilities to call upon each wolf's unique passive. So each ability 1, 2, 3, 4, they have another ability which is a passive. You trigger it by holding. Okay, we're gonna go through them one by one. Now, Shroud of Dynar, her first ability, really simple. Dynar Shroud Voruna with invisibility and accelerate her speed. Invisibility ends when Voruna attacks. For a short time after invisibility ends, melee attacks have increased critical damage, statue chance, critical chance, and inflict slash statue effects for weapons that under 100% critical chance. So you are invisible until you perform an attack, which makes it really bad for Voruna, to be honest. I hope one day they rework this ability so she is permanently invisible. I know that would make her more broken, but it is what it is. Now, if you hold, now this is the passive. If you hold the ability, you get the Dynar Guard Voruna, increasing her parkour velocity. So you move from place to place faster. Very nice when it comes to cascade, so you can move from Exolizer to another, or in survival from the life support to another. Now, thanks to Rakash, her second ability and what she's famous of and what makes her actually very powerful. Now, tap Rakash Fang Steer into enemies. 5 random statue effects are applied at 10 stacks. Each on an enemy. On target's death, spread the statue effect to other nearby enemies. Now, this is really powerful. But there is a bug. If you cast Fang of Rakash twice on the same target, sometimes it doesn't transfer the second cast, only the first one. Okay, so the first 5 stacks, first 5 stats, that's what's going to go to all other enemies. So I highly recommend you hit one target 5 random stacks, and then you go to the other one 5 random stacks, and then you go back to the first one, like maneuver around that. But you can keep spam the same target for hundreds of stacks. It's really crazy. Okay, now if you hold, Rakash guards Voruna with statue effect resistance. Awesome. Now, Likath Hand to sustain the pack. Enemies killed by melee attacks drop health orbs. really awesome for equilibrium. And enemies killed by headshots drop energy orbs and increase the duration of Lekath hand by killing enemies inflicted by 5 or more statue effects. Now that comes the Fang of Rakash. Okay, so you get how this synergy goes together. When you hold this ability, Lekath guards Voruna with increased heavy attack efficiency. Now it can reach 100%. Now you can't see it as the melee weapons capped at 90%, but when you have a Riven with a heavy attack efficiency, you'll be able to see that. Okay, but it's really awesome. Now Lurf, I never get this one right. Ulfrun's Descent. Voruna, when you tap, drop all 4, you become a wolf. Prepare 5 brutal charges that lock into enemies. Ulfrun, the most powerful wolf, leads the attack as Voruna dashes toward the target. The pack deals increased damage to targets and nearby enemies that are inflicted by statue effect. Lethal attacks double the damage of Voruna remaining charges. Now this ability is really amazing and I love it, but I don't feel it can go well for level cap. It's really awesome when it comes to low and mid game play. Now if you hold, Ulfrun guards Voruna. If Voruna falls during this time, Ulfrun dies in its place. Now it has an augment. Now let's go for the augments. Now first one, Ulfrun Endurance. Ulfrun Descents. During Ulfrun's attacks, enemies that die from slash, which they will, statues within 20 meters restore Voruna charges. So you can keep going, boom, boom, boom. It's really amazing, especially for exterminate missions, mid and low end. Very awesome. Now Shroud of Dynar got an augment, and this is what this build is about actually. Prey of Dynar. Shroud of Dynar augment. Increase an enemy damage vulnerability by 50% using Fang of Rakash on that enemy. Increased its spread radius by 150%. So here is how you use this. When you are invisible and you use this Fang of Rakash, okay, the augment will be triggered and will make enemies more vulnerable to damage and the increase of spread radius, because when an enemy killed by Fang of Rakash, the status will be spreading to all nearby enemies. Now, like always, based on your request, you want to talk about what her kit scales and everything. Now, Shroud of Dynar is an invisibility. It's really awesome and amazing. The hold for passive, it's awesome to move from location to location. Yes, it is a level cap material. Fang of Rakash, it's really awesome and it can reach level cap, and it's amazing when it comes to synergize with condition overload or aptitude for your melee weapon, primary weapons and so on. Really amazing. The hold is optional. That depends on your build and how you're going for. Resisting status makes it awesome. Now it's an end game. Now Lekath hand, this is the subsumable ability for her. It's like a great and amazing help for her, and yes, it's amazing level cap material. Now Ulfrun's Descent, not really, like it incapacitate you like so, and like you have to hit, and no, it's like low to mid game, so you can take it off for another helmet ability. Now what helmet ability you want to go for, that depends on the build you want. Exactly. So now, for example, if you want to proc viral and corrosive to armor strip the enemies at the same time without relying on Fangs of Rakash, you can use Tempest Barrage, you can use Nourish for viral and more energy, but these not really. So I prefer, for example, you go something towards CC, because when you come out from your Shroud of Dynar, she become very vulnerable to the incoming damage. So Gloom and Snare, Silence from Banshee, stuff like that, like Resonator. Maybe even if you want like go crazy, you can go with Dispensary here for energy and stuff like that. But really, it's very critical, guys. 100%. The moment you're out of Shroud of Dynar, you're hitting with your melee, it's really critical and you may die. And we're going to discuss what the helmet ability we're going to use for today's video. And you may like it Voruna already by watching her kit, so you'd ask, Hank, where do I farm Voruna? You can get Voruna from 2 locations. One, from Lua Conjunction, Survival. All of her parts, blueprint, system, neuroptics, chassis drop from rotation C. Or even farming the Lua and you didn't get the Conjunction and you didn't get the parts you want, still with the Thrax material you can trade at Zariman Yonta. You just go Yonta and you can have her parts. Simple as that. And now it's time for the build, but I want you to pay very close attention, as everything I will say from now on really matters for you to achieve the same results. First, 2 Emerald Archon shards to armor strip enemies using Verona's second ability, Fangs of Rakash, and yes, it procs corrosive. Also, not only for her second ability, if you plan on using primary or secondary weapon or whatever with corrosive, except the companion of course, you will reach 14 stacks of corrosive to armor strip without relying on any helmet ability or focus school to armor strip. Simple as that. Now when it comes to viral, you will be proccing viral as well, okay? But if you want to get more viral, for example from Pons Pafella and so on, I will leave you this sheet right here so you can maneuver between armor stripping and proccing viral and so on. Just remember, her second ability can proc every statue in the game except, let's say, the Tau and the Void and all that kind of stuff. Alright. 2 Tau Forged Violet Archon shards for 37% melee critical damage. When energy max is over 500, the damage boost doubles. Now she sucks a bit when it comes to energy until the Voruna Prime comes out. So we got 502 thanks to the Tau Force Azure Archon shard for 75 energy. Simple as that. Now let's go for the build. Brief Respite. On ability cast, squad converts 150% of energy spent to shields, while overshields are inactive. Now, you would ask me, okay Hank, what is this? This is called shield gating in Warframe. To understand shield gating in Warframe, you need to understand what is gate. Gate in Warframe is the moment when you lose your shield, you will be invulnerable for a certain amount of time, depends on how much shield you have. Easy as that, okay? So it doesn't matter how much the enemy will hit you, as long as you can refill your shields, you'll be alive, okay? And maybe in the future I will make a full shield gate guide so I can just redirect you guys to there, okay? Now, this Brief Respite, the abilities that you're going to be using, which for example second ability you will be spamming, okay? Every time you use it, 150% of energy spent on that ability, it will be converted to shields. Simple as that. Now, Archon Stretch, 45% ability range, abilities that deal electricity, which your second ability will, okay? Restore plus 2 energy over 5 seconds. Prey of Dynar. Shroud Dynar augment increase an enemy damage vulnerability by 50%. Using Fang of Rakash on that enemy increase its spread radius by 150%. Now this one, we managed to get it to 99% damage vulnerability, which is perfect, okay? Now remember, it's not about throwing as much strength in there, okay? It's always about balancing between your damage output, your survivability, and your enjoyment of the game. You don't want to play under stress. Okay, Archon Continuity, 55% ability duration, and abilities that inflict toxin statue effect will also apply corrosive statue effect. So you will be applying corrosive, and when you apply toxin, you will apply corrosive. So very fast, the enemy will be armor stripped. Rolling guard for bad situations, okay? You become invulnerable for 3 seconds and remove all statue effects for 7 seconds. Trust me, I know the second ability makes you like immune to statue effects and all, but rolling guard will help you in a lot of situations, trust me. Now, Primed Flow, I mean, why would you trust a random guy, right? So, Primed Flow for energy max. Now, you would say, Hank, what about the Archon Flow? Now, the Archon Flow doesn't go well with Verona, even she procs cold. The reason for that, it has to be abilities killed by cold and not by proc. So, we skip the flow for now. Equilibrium. Health pickups gives 110 energy. Energy pickups gives 110% health. Transit Fortitude for strength and minus duration. Also right, 128, you'll be fine. Umbrella Testify for ability strength. You're good to go. Arcane Energize in here. And Arcane Fury for melee damage if you're gonna be using your melee damage. Now, what is the helmet ability, Hank, you're gonna go for? It wanna be surprising a lot of Thanos. You wouldn't expect this. There you go. Quiver. Now, what Quiver does? Quiver will... It's Evara helmet ability, by the way. Subsumable helmet ability. Quiver will put you invisible in a certain area. Now, think about it this way. And this is the whole idea of the build. You proc Quiver in a certain location. And then when you're invisible of Shroud of Dynar, and you're proccing your Fangs of Rakash, 2 things you can do here. 1, you can use any weapon you want. Even if you are invisible with Shroud of Dynar, because you want to get use of the augment, right? You'll be still invisible with Quiver. And even if you are invisible with Shroud of Dynar and you're using your melee weapon, you're still invisible with Quiver. Even if you don't have energy and your energy finish and Quiver is still active, you'll be still invisible in that location. Okay? So think about it as Verona made to be an invisible Warframe, but the ETH said, okay, if we give her so much invisibility, probably she will like break the game. So I tried to give her back that what DE didn't want to give. Okay, so 128% duration, efficiency, range, and strength 199%. Perfect. Now, there is something in here that synergizes with Voruna like charm. What it is? The companion. Now, Horus is a companion that can put you invisible using Stalk. Okay, now you know already know, if you want to watch Horus level cap, check the channel. I already have a Horus killing level cap by himself. Now, Stalk. The Kubru closes itself and its master to stalk down its prey when they are within 24 meters. So this is more invisibility. So you see, I'm trying to keep Voruna as long as invisible possible during the gameplay. Mecha recharge. 90% shield recharge, but that's not what I really care about. Companion marks a target every 45 seconds for 6 seconds. Killing the target applies their statue effect to all enemies within 15 meters. Of course, you can go full mecha if you really want to. Fetch for loot, contagious bond. When your companion kills an enemy, which it can, alright? Afflicted with a statue effect, 50% of the statue effect spread to other enemies within 9 meters, max 100 stacks. Reinforced bond, if the companion exceeds 1200 max shields, which 1700 more than enough, your fire rate increased by 60%. And tenacious bond, headshot kills reduce companion recovery time by 3 seconds. If the companion critical chance is over 50, we're gonna get to that in a second, you gain 1.2x final critical damage multiplier, 120%. Resource for retriever, 18% chance to double resource pickups. You need this. Primate pack leader, heal your companion, and when you perform a melee attack, you're gonna give it over guard to help it alive. Duplex, really amazing. Even if your companion dies and the duplex clones are alive, they're capable of killing level cap. Companion will clone itself each time you expend 100 energy, and trust me, you will be all the time. Up to 3 clones. Clones live 30 seconds and cannot use abilities. We don't need them to do. Their kills have 50% chance of dropping energy. Or, that's really awesome, calculate the direction for shield. Now, when it comes to the close, we're gonna go like so. Now, there is no ribbons for clones, okay? Remember that. Frenzied posture. The companion prefers to charge his target each attack 80% duration. Bite, boom, 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 boom. Now, the element that you're going to be using in here, it depends on what you want, alright? I'm going for toxic. Depends on what element you want. Now, Mecha Overdrive, on the other hand, is really important here. A 60% primary weapon statue chance added to your companion and 90% statue duration. And also, it contributes to the Mecha Overdrive set. Now, if you want, okay, if you just want, you can equip the rest of mecha stuff in Voruna, okay? You can go Mecha Pulse instead of Equilibrium, and you'll be fine as well, okay? Every 30 seconds and lasts 9 seconds, okay? Still, you'll be as powerful as so. And you can equip Mecha Empowered right here. Squad deals 140% extra damage against marked enemy. So now, but I highly recommend if you equip Mecha Empowered in here, you switch Stretch, Archon Stretch to the other one. Where is it? Reach about here. Okay, so 40% energy spent on abilities converted to shield, so you can actually stay alive. Okay, so move around there and you'll be just fine. Let's reset the mods because they get buggy sometimes. And we equip our brief respite. Okay, so we're not going like all out. This is not void mod, guys, or like running a simple mission. I want your build to scale for all the way. Now, when it comes to weapons, if you're taking, for example, Glaive, I highly recommend you take a Glaive. For example, Galvanized Reflex, Galvanized Elementalist. Okay, you can equip Sacrificial Steel or you can equip the Galvanized Steel. That depends on what and like what style you want to go for and which tier you're willing to sacrifice for how long and how many throws you're gonna do, and it's really complicated, but I prefer to go for Sacrificial Steel for now. More stable tier for me. Okay, that's that. And the Glaive and Voruna, really crazy, but there is a weapon that's more crazy than that, which is Hate. Now you all know Hate received a new augment, right? Burning Hate. When hate damaged enemies inflicted with heat statue, they become vulnerable to 120% more statue effects. Now, how crazy is that? Now, you can go for heavy attacks using the Galvanized Reflex and Galvanized Elementalist and Burning Hate Influence, and you got Electricity, and we're gonna go with that for now, since Glaive you already saw in the the speedrun. Alright, so now you're pretty much ready. Now, the best one to use as a passive, first to move, as you can see, the parkour velocity. Second in certain situations, resisting statue effects. As you can see, I'm invisible from my Horas. And third is before you just perform an attack. Okay? Now, this is your quiver, right about here. And you can use quiver in your companion. Alright, there you go. Okay, there you go. Now, third ability to make sure that your medikins drop health orbs, and then your headshots will drop energy orbs. Okay? And you'll be moving around that. Now, your fourth passive will not be able to use it, since you're using a... let's say quiver instead of it, and that's pretty much it. Now let's do some showcase in Simulacrum. And here we are, summoning level 225 heavy corrupt gunners. So simply you'll just be using quiver to stay visible. Then first ability, Shroud of Dynar, and then look at this. Look at this. We're gonna just, here you go, armor strip, and you see all those stacks that we've broken in. Alright, check this out. The moment I kill this guy, it's just like end game, baby. You see all the stats goes in there? Alright, check this out. And then the companion goes in, and boom, 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 everything disappears. Right? Now let's do it one more time. There we go. Now remember, it's really amazing because quiver will actually keep you invisible. Look at that. And everything dies. That was 5,500,000 hit right about there. Okay. Now let's do it one more time before we use our hate. There you go. Boom. Everything disappeared. Now let's rely on hate. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Like, enemies actually getting deleted. Now the most amazing part about this build is that if I impose those enemies and I just go in there, now I am invisible, they don't see me, right? So I just like running around and all, unless I catch a random bullet. Now if I cast my quiver, I'll be able to use glaives, I'll be able to use my weapon, but make sure like you put like a hash on them or something. So even I am out of the first ability, I'm still available in my, I'm still like invisible. Look at this. It makes it really comfortable to use this build. Like really, let's revive this guy. Look, boom. You see how comes the shield gating? So they hit me, my shield is gone. I used one of my abilities and I'm back to game, baby. Okay, here we go. Bring this guy. And simple as that. Okay, now you'd ask, Hank, Voruna is very hard to shield gate. Yes, I know. The problem with Voruna is when you cast your first ability, you cannot recast it. And when you cast your third ability, you can't recast it. And when you cast your second ability, you can't keep casting the second ability because you'll be running out of energy. And you can't cast the second ability if there is no enemies nearby. Alright, look, unless there is an enemy, you can't cast it. So how exactly you shield gate? I would say simply using your abilities in specific and perfect timings. For example, I keep my third ability every time for emergencies, like so, and hit it. And then I just like hit my quiver and move around and all that kind of thing. She doesn't have a spammable ability unless you're gonna be using Nourish instead. And by this, we reached the end of our video. I really hope this video helps you out to build your Voruna and maybe understand her kit. And maybe just not to copy the build. You can just inspire from it, or maybe like, you know, move things around and change the helmet ability, put more strength. Depends on the content you want to go and play against. Now remember, I take weapons to level cap and Warframes to level cap to make sure that the builds scale to level cap and they're capable of. So you don't waste your resources, because for me it's easy just to show you the build and bye-bye. But no, I'm doing my best to test this stuff. So let me know what you think about Voruna in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitch, join our Discord, link on description, and we're building an amazing community there. You can ask questions, ask for Riven price and all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next time.